to be able to, and I'm not trying to brag, I'm not trying to do any of that, but to be able to give to someone and see how that lights up their world, that their world is everything. Because people did that for us, and they gave to us, and so I know how I felt, and I wanted to make others feel that way. But y'all, that was a hard struggle, but that was the best kind of pain, was going through that, because, we had a common goal in mind. And so I'm very, very passionate about that. But we only really did it through budgeting, really, but the why of what we do is, I'm ready to build net worth. I'm young, recently out of high school, recently out of college, and I want to get a step up, because everything's so expensive, and so I want to be able to have the peace of mind to say, okay, I can provide for my family, I can provide for, myself, and get a job, and she has her job, and this was, and so whenever you attack your debt, you have that freedom, right? And I like being free a heck of a lot better than not being, So Ashley, you can go to the next slide. So this is the screensaver, and I guess just to prove it, I'll show y'all. This is the screensaver on my phone. It has, and I keep the page open so I can see this every day. My only two apps on here are YouTube TV, because I love college football and the Cowboys, except the last game. Cried a little bit, a lot. I'm just kidding. And Tetris, because I think I'm smart. And I don't know, I like Tetris. But that's my screensaver. I am better at replying to messages than what this aid says. It was kind of a low point for me. But that's my motivation, right? To be able to say, like, hey, like, we are free from this. This isn't over our heads. This isn't something that we have to deal with. So we attacked it. We worked hard. We worked extra hours than what we had to. And y'all know, we were okay from it. And we still went to the beach for vacation and got to relax. You will live, I promise. But as the point below says, you have to be okay with the sacrifice. This is something that you want to achieve, right? So, different people's motivation is, freedom, do it for your kids. Now we have a baby, and I want her to be set up well, and I want to own things, right? So we have two paid off vehicles. We have $1,000 a month house payment that we want, and y'all, we get to keep the rest of our income, but the rest of our income, because we paid off our medical debt from the hospital, and now for the first time in a while, we have a positive net worth, right? So if your liability, so net worth is assets minus liabilities. Assets is what you own, liabilities is what you owe. So when your assets are greater than your liabilities, you have a positive net worth, right? When your debt is bigger than your liabilities are bigger than your assets, you have a negative, right? And so, and actually, you can go to the next slide. But yeah, so it's right there. But that was our goal, is to build it for our daughter, have it for each other, and so So I'm nearly done, I promise, and then we'll get to the Kahoot and any questions if y'all have them. But real fast to the budget, Asher, next slide. So, who has a budget?
No.
I believe you. You have trust in things. I'm kidding. So every month during when we were paying off our debt, we'd write out our budget. Excuse me. So every month we'd write out our budget. So we did what's called a zero-based budget, which is where your monthly income, right? So your paycheck. let's say it was $1,000. Minus your monthly expenses equals 0. So 1,000 minus 1,000 equals 0, right? Now that does not mean that you have no money left in the bank, right? So part of your expenses are moving into savings, paying off debt. But that is what a zero-based budget is. There are tons and tons of examples on many, many websites. Just look up a zero-based budget. Excuse me. And the goal of this is really to show you that every single dollar, every single cent, to take it a step further, has a meaning and it has a purpose, right? So your income are your paychecks from where you work, side hustles, you know. If you do anything on Etsy, or you go mow lawns, or you plan weddings, or you know, you play instruments at events. Those are all side hustles. That's all income, right? Now your expenses, for me, number one has to be giving, right? Now, if you give, that does not mean that you will get that back. But the plan that we followed always had giving as number one, and it made a difference. It saw us pay down our debt a lot faster. Number two is savings. Number three are basic essentials, right? Food, water, electricity, phone bill, all that stuff. Your fun money comes after those three things. So you can go and have a date with boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband. You can go. I don't know. Y'all have your own fun. Y'all have your fun money. For me, I'm really boring, and so and we have a newborn at home, so there's really not a lot of fun money, but you know, so you can have a zero-based budget, but still know where your money is going. There's a cash envelope way that you can do it, which means, so if I bring in $1,000 a month, let's say rent is $700 a month, boom, $700 taken out of the bank in cash that you're going to give your landlord. All right, let's say food is $250, right? So now we're at $950 for our expenses. So $250 in cash is for groceries or eating out. And then the other $50 is, say, putting $50 a month into savings. So why I say all that, especially in that cash envelope way, we did that for a little bit, but it forces you to only spend what you have, right? And so when you only spend whatever amount on something, you're not tempted to go over the line, right? Because then you go over budget, and then you lose money, and you get behind on a bunch of stuff, and then it adds up and adds up and adds up. That's really what a zero-based budget is, and for that, I mean, it works. I mean, it's